It's your girl Liallure here, and I'm back at it again with another video. If you're new to my channel, hey girl, hey, my name is Leah. I make story times, I do videos, I do hauls, I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Science like for the kids, you know the vibes. And if you're a returning subscriber, hey friend, how are you? I hope you're doing wonderful, fabulous, beautiful, amazing. So you guys, before we get started, quick disclaimer, that is not a bump on my lip, okay? I got a cut on my lip and it's just refusing to heal at this point, so that's what that is. Another disclaimer, it's pretty late, I'm pretty tired, and I'm gonna try to stay on track. Bear with me. Yeah. So you guys, happy Storytime Sunday. It is everybody's favorite day of the week, Storytime Sunday with your girl, because my life is ghetto. So y'all, this is gonna be a quick story time, but it's gonna be a good story time, and this is the story of my worst date ever. Before we get started, make sure you guys hit the like button on this video because it helps me a lot. It helps my video get into the YouTube algorithm, and it helps other people see my videos and catch a key just like you're doing. Okay, so hit that button right now. All right, so let's just jump right into it. This story happened around August of last year. I think it was August. If you're not new to my channel, you know that last year around July, August, I went to Florida to visit my friend who at the time was pregnant. So we went over there to like throw her a little baby shower and stuff like that. And then I came back. When I came back, of course I had to quarantine. I quarantined at an Airbnb for about 2.5 weeks. At the time, I was dating someone, and I was dating someone who I'd met on a dating app. The dating app in question is Hinge. I was on Hinge because before that I had been in a relationship for about like 3 years consistently with the same guy, and I had never really dated, you know what I'm saying? People say that when you're in your 20s you're supposed to like discover what you like and what you don't like about your men, women, whoever you're into. You're supposed to date around and see what you like, what you don't like, and get to know more about yourself. I felt like I never really did that. Even in college, I never really dated around. I had the same boyfriend consistently. And so last year, I really took the time to just get to know myself and figure out what I like and don't like. So I went on a lot of first dates with guys. A lot of first and last dates, as they say, grand opening, grand closing. So I was dating a guy and things didn't work out with us, not because of me, not because of me. If y'all want that story, I'm gonna give it to you, but it wasn't my fault. I'll let you know right now. I got the receipts. But anyway, so that didn't work out, and I kind of just had to like move on or whatever. So towards the last week of me quarantining at this Airbnb, I started talking to somebody else. One night I'm on Netflix, I'm like watching stuff, I'm on my phone, I'm looking at profiles of people who like me and message me and stuff like that, and this one guy had liked my picture, and so I thought he was cute. I looked at his profile. I saw that he was like 6'5" or something like that. I saw that he seemed to have a job. It said that he was an educator. It also said that he was 29. So I'm like, okay, cool, this seems like my ballpark. All right. I liked his picture, like I accepted his like or whatever, and about 30 minutes later I get a message from him and he says hello. So we're talking, and right off bat I noticed that the conversation is a little weird. Usually when you're dating on these dating apps, like, well, at least in my experience, when guys try to talk to you, like they usually come with some type of humor or like some bright energy or something like that. His was kind of like, hey. I was like, hello. He was like, oh, how are you doing? Good night or whatever. So I'm like, okay, good night, how are you? So I'm talking to him, I'm getting to know him, and he had said something about my profile, and we just went off that conversation basically. I remember specifically that night we were talking about soccer because he was saying that his favorite team is like Liverpool or Arsenal, and I was telling him that I'm a Man United fan. So we were talking about that and just joking all that. He told me that he used to play cricket. I'm like, I never understood cricket. So we're just really vibing off of each other because we were both from the Caribbean. And the conversation was good, but there was something so weird about it, and I couldn't put my finger on what it was. So maybe about 3 days later, we're talking and we're actually texting now. And he's like, oh, I want to take you out. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like, when do you want to take me out and where do you want to go? He's like, I don't really know. What do you like to do? Red flag number one. If you say that you want to take me out, you should at least know where you want to take me, when you want to take me, and what type of event you want to do. You know what I mean? Don't ask me out and expect me to do all the work for you, because that's just an indicator that I'm about to be doing everything in this situation, and that's just not how it's going down. Okay. So I'm like, you know what, you could just decide, like, I'm not really picky or whatever. I am picky. I lied. But so he's like, oh, is there a fly in here? He's like, okay, so we're just gonna go downtown and figure it out from there. So I'm like, cool. That day I get dressed. We're supposed to meet up at, I think it was like 1 o'clock. I get dressed or whatever. I put some jeans on, I put a t-shirt on, I put some sneakers on, and I do my makeup, I do my wig or whatever, and I feel cute and I'm ready to go. So I get there and it starts to pour. Like, it starts to pour rain. I did not have an umbrella. I did not know it was gonna rain. So I literally get out the Uber and I run under an awning of a store. I stand there, I'm texting him, I'm like, hey, like, this rain is crazy. He's like, yeah, it is. So he's like, I'll be there in like 5 minutes. I'm just looking for parking right now. Parking over here is crazy. So I'm like, okay, no problem. The rain stops and I see across the street a guy coming towards me and I'm like, but wait, this can't be the guy. This can't be him. This guy is tall, yes, and it looks like his picture, yes, but I refuse to believe that this is him. Old boy showed up in gray sweatpants. Not even the gray sweatpants that's like, it gives it a little oomph, you know what I mean? A little. No, he showed up in some baggy gray sweatpants, like some dad sweatpants, and a very, very baggy white t-shirt that I'm almost positive had a stain on it. And I was like, oh, I thought this was a date. I'm bugging. Like, I thought this was a date, because even though it was like kind of casual, like I came with my makeup on, I had a cute shirt on, I had my nice jeans on. Like, I thought this was a date, you know what I mean? Like, first impressions are everything. So this guy just came on his own type time, and I guess I was like, oh, okay. I mean, he thought he was gonna come as he was, and I was just gonna accept it. So I greet him, I'm like, hey. He's like, hey. Literally just like that, hey. Doesn't give me a hug, no side hug, no nothing, not at all. And I'm like, all right, that's fine, that's fine. So we start walking and he's like, oh, let's just go by the bridge because you just told me you were not that hungry right now. I was like, yeah. So we go by the bridge and we're just walking around. When I tell you, this is the most awkward walk ever. Like, literally we're walking and we're making some type of small talk, but it's mostly me asking him questions. Like, he's not really engaging in conversation with me at all. I'm like, well, nigga, damn, why did you ask me out here if you weren't gonna talk to me? It seemed like you don't even want to be here, bro. After a while, he's like, are you hungry now? So I was like, yeah. I'm thinking maybe if we sit down, the conversation is gonna get a little bit more juicy. Maybe a meal will ignite his appetite for a good conversation, because this shit is dry as. We're walking and he's like, okay, this looks like a good spot. Like, do you like Italian food? And I'm like, yeah, I love Italian food. So we get outside and then we go to the little like kiosk or whatever. And there was this white girl there. And I say she's white because it's an important detail. So we get there and I'm like, hello. And she's like, hey, table for two. So I'm like, yes. So she's like, okay, all we have right now is outdoor seating. So would you like to be seated close to the edge of the sidewalk, or would you like to be closer inside? So I'm looking at him because he's the man and I don't want to make decisions for him, you know what I mean? And he's like, oh, I think in the inner is fine. He looks at me, he's like, I was like, yeah, that's cool. Like, I have no issue with that. So we sit down or whatever, and literally before I could even open my bag to start wiping the table, to start wiping the seat, he decides, actually, I don't want to sit there. Okay. He tells the girl at the kiosk, he's like, hey miss, like, we actually want to sit at the table like towards the outside. So I'm like, okay, like, I have no issue with that. We get up, we go sit at that table. I sit down, I get the hand sanitizer out. I'm finna wipe the table, you feel me? I'm trying to get it clean, you know what I'm saying? Because COVID is real. So I'm trying to clean the surface or whatever. And literally, as soon as I start wiping the table, this man decides, no, actually, I don't want to sit here. I don't like the seat. It's too close to the car. But nigga, damn. When he told you that was the other seat, did you not see the cars driving by? Like, I'm confused. So we get up again and we sit down at the other seats that we were originally at. So I'm like, is this seat cool with you? Like, you good? And he's like, yeah, I'm fine with this. Doesn't make a joke, doesn't see that he got up a million times, and now I'm just like, are you sure? Are you sure? Would you like another round of musical chairs? So we sit down and we start looking at the menu, and he's asking me what I want to eat, and I'm like, I'm not sure because I've never been here. I'm not really hungry. When the waiter came, it was a guy, and he's like, hey, can I start you off with some drinks? And I say, yeah, I'd like some water. This guy says he wants some water as well. He gets his water and everything's fine. So we start talking, and now I'm like, okay, now let's get to the meat and potatoes. Like, what should I know about you, right? So I'm starting to talk to him, and I'm like, so tell me about your last relationships. And he's like, what do you want to know? I was like, I don't know, like, just tell me about your last relationship. Like, what made you want to get on Hinge? What are you looking for? What types of experiences have you had so far? Like, just, you know. And so he's like, well, my last relationship was kind of weird. And before he could finish, the waiter came back and he gave us our waters, and he goes, are you guys ready to order? Before I could open my mouth and say what I wanted, this man decided, actually, she's gonna have a salad. I don't remember ordering a salad, but if you say so, oh, okay, that's fine. So he orders me a salad, and I'm like, oh, I guess I'm eating a salad. So he orders me a salad, and then he orders himself, like, I think it was a Cuban sandwich with some French fries. We sat down or whatever, the waiter goes away, we're talking, he's telling me about his last relationship. He opens his mouth to speak and he says,
so my last relationship was kind of weird because I didn't know it was gonna end. We had been together for about 5 years until she finally broke it off.
And I'm like, why? Like, what happened? Because 5 years is a long time to be with someone. And he was like, oh.
Well, when I met her, we were in college and she was a pre-med student, and I was kind of sticking with her through everything. She was always stressed out, you know, medical school classes is hard, all of that.
This, that, and the third. And I'm like, yeah, like, I get it. And he's like, oh.
And then I was helping her through school. I was helping her pay for her tuition and stuff like that. She got into med school in North Carolina, and then she moved down there without making a decision with me.
And I'm like, well, why should she make the decision with you? Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but if I always was dead set on being a doctor or being anything in my life, no man that I meet in my life is gonna stop me from doing that. Not a single man, okay? Not one man is gonna stop me. So I was confused about why he was pissed off about it. And he was like, oh, because we always made decisions together, and like, I don't understand why she just up and left me. All right, cool. Okay, I just want to clarify something real quick, because I don't need nobody coming for me in the comments. What I mean by this is, even like, it's nice to have somebody who helps you through school and who helps you financially, resourcefully, all types of things, and of course you should be grateful for that. However, that doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your dreams for somebody. I would never turn down the opportunity to go to medical school in another state because of a man. That is not smart, and ladies, do not do this. Don't do it. So then the food comes, right? In the midst of this conversation, I literally am like pulling information from him, because I'm like, this whole situation is weird, okay? Don't tell me that y'all broke up because she went to North Carolina for medical school. People do long distance relationships all the time. Granted, sometimes it don't work out, but there's something more here. So he's talking to me, he's like,
oh yeah, and I just felt like it was disrespectful because I always wanted to be the breadwinner in the household. I always wanted to marry her, but I'm not gonna date no woman who wants to put her independence over mine. She was always on this feminist agenda, and we just weren't on the same type of timing.
I'm like, feminist agenda, you say? Sounds like a hotep.
Are you surprised? Why is that so why is that so mind-blowing?
I was like, oh no. Oh no. So I'm like, okay, feminist agenda, like, what do you mean by that? He's like,
oh, she always wanted to be independent. Like, she never wanted me to do anything for her, even though at the beginning I was paying for her books, this, that, and the third.
And I'm really trying to find something wrong with said girl. I'm really trying to find what he's talking about. Like, why are you so pressed that this girl wants to be independent and do things for herself? I was genuinely confused. He's talking to me and he's going off about this. Now this nigga's mad, okay? Now he's mad because I've awakened a memory in him. I've given him PTSD all over again, right? So he's talking, and now he's mad over my salad. You know what? I'm just trying to eat. And he's going off on a tangent. This man is monologuing.
Oh, because women nowadays, they always want to do everything they want to do. They don't want to listen to the man. And I always feel like the man should be the present household in their family.
And I'm like, okay. I'm listening to him, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm listening to him, and I don't really know what to say, because it's kind of like, I don't know how you were raised, and I don't know how you're clearly strongly grounded in your beliefs, and I can't tell you that your beliefs are wrong, because they're your beliefs, you know what I mean? Like, you're entitled to it. But at the same time, it's like, I'm finding a hard time finding anything wrong with a woman or anyone who wants to be independent and then do their work and do what they always wanted to do with their life. Like, what's going on? Then he goes on to say,
I've always had a hard time with women because, you know, the mother of my kids.
Hold on now. Hold on. Wait. The mother of your kids? with a S, plural, kids. I was like, you have kids? Because the whole time we were talking, literally, this man said nothing about children. On his profile, it said he didn't have no kids. It didn't say nothing about kids. So where are these children coming from? Where are they spawning from? He was like, oh yeah, I got 2 kids. I got 2 sons. And I'm like, okay, tell me more. He was like, yeah, this girl that I was dating in high school, she got pregnant. I didn't know she was gonna get pregnant, but she got pregnant. So I got my first son from her. Right now, you know, he's 4. And I'm doing the math and I'm like, but wait. You said you was with old girl, the doctor, Grey's Anatomy, in North Carolina for 5 years. And your son is 4. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm no Rain Man. But something is not adding up, okay?
That's suspicious. That's weird.
Because you was with homegirl for 5 years, and then you have a 4-year-old son that is not her kid. I was like, wait. At this point, I wasn't gonna say nothing, but I was like, wait, so whose kid is it?
He was like, yeah, it's the girl that I knew from high school, but I'm not gonna lie, I did cheat on my ex-girlfriend.
I said, okay. We have a breakthrough. We have a breakthrough. Now we're getting to the meat and bones. You cheated on your girlfriend and that's why she left you. Not because she wanted to be independent, because you cheated on her and you had a whole baby on her. A whole baby on her. And now you're mad because she wants to go live her life. You know what, Meredith Grey? You do you, boo. I'm not even mad. But now I'm just sitting there and I'm listening and I'm like, okay, yeah, I understand. I already have it in my mind. I'm never gonna see him again. I'm literally never gonna see this man again. So it's fine. It's fine. It's no problem. So he's talking to me still. He's going off on a tangent. This thing is monologuing still. I'm eating my salad. Don't like a salad, but I'm not gonna complain about it. I'm gonna eat my food and be grateful that a meal was paid for. So I ate my salad. I drank my water. I got through it. It was cool. Halfway through his food, he decides that he does not like the food. He thinks it's disgusting. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it?
I don't know. It's something just off about it. It tastes really weird.
Well, is it unseasoned? Is the meat stale? Like, what's wrong with it? He was like,
I'm not really sure. It just don't taste good. Like, it's something off about it. This don't look off to you.
and I'm like, no, it looks fine, but what do I know? And so he calls the waiter over. He's complaining. He doesn't like the food. The food does not taste good. The waiter apologizes. He takes the food away. So now we're still, you know, at this point it's kind of awkward because I no longer want to talk. I have nothing to talk about with you. You know what I mean? Like, you already cheated on this girl. There's nothing to talk about. That's it. Case closed. Next case. Like, that's it. At the end of the date, basically, I thanked him for lunch, and then he insisted on taking me home because I could tell this man was a little off. I did not want to get in his car, but he insisted, and I really wasn't about to argue with him, especially when I was alone with him. I was like, okay, you could take me to a train station like near my house, but I'm not comfortable with you taking me to my home. And he was like, okay. I get in the car reluctantly and I'm nervous the whole time, but honestly my friends had my location because anytime I went out on a date, my friends had my location and they knew I was out on a date. So I got in the car, and again, it was only like 2 o'clock at the time. So I get in the car or whatever, and he stops by the train station near my house. I get out, I say thank you, whatever, and I go home. Later on that day, he tries to text me. He's like, oh, I had a good time. And I'm like, yeah, thank you for taking me out. A few days later, he's texting me. He's like, when we gonna link again? Nigga, never. Never. What are you talking about? You made a scene. You embarrassed me because you wanted to act a fool in front of the waiter. And then you went ahead and you told me that you cheated on this girl and had a whole baby on her. But you mad at her because she wanted to be independent and have her career. And you expect me to fall into this trap? No, it's not giving that. It's not giving that. So we never really spoke again because I was like, oh no, I'm busy. Like, and I think he kind of got the hint. I was just like, yeah, we're never gonna talk again. So that was the last time I spoke to him. Good riddance. Case closed. Next case. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the button. Make sure you turn on your post notifications and join the gang. You already stuck around for this long. You might as well stick around and join a gang. Don't be a hater. Make sure you follow me on all my socials. That is Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. That is in the outro and also in the description box down below. Call me, beat me if you wanna reach me. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.
Shout out to everybody. I had fun.